It's time to hit social media for cash tags. For that, we'd like to welcome in Megan Brantley, the VP of Research at LikeFolio.com. And Jenny Horn is back with us as well to talk one of your favorites, which is Monster.
I know I'll have to contain my excitement when we talk about Monster and not show any bias, but I do drink Monster probably at least 3 times a day, so no shame there. I think I'm one of the most loyal customers. And as far as stock performance go, the shares are up 11,000% over 15 years. So this stock's performance kind of speaks for itself. And Megan, I'm really curious what your data shows, because if you look at this over a 15-year chart, it's just a fascinating stock.
Oh, absolutely. What we're seeing right now is a lot of strength in purchase intent. So people talking about drinking Monster and buying Monster. I mean, people are talking about buying Monster by the case. I think that's interesting. When you look, really, since 2018, we've seen a dramatic uptick. I think last quarter, the company was punished a little bit. They didn't meet expectations on earnings, even though, they did show year-over-year sales growth. And what we're watching is a really strong performance from Reign, their new energy drink line that we're, watching into this quarter, and also their Java Monster. And I've never had Java Monster. I like Monster. I love it. But I've never tried that. But so far, reception seems to be really strong for that Reign total body performance. So it's something that we flagged to watch moving forward as earnings creeps up on us.
Yeah, and if you look at your stock price versus what your 90-day moving average is on purchase intent, Megan, that continues to outperform to the upside. Now, is that based on the new products that typically you'll see that little jump or spike in some of your purchase intent, or is that just possibly because they're actually gaining market share?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Reign, from a new product perspective, has performed better than other new products that they've released, which is good for them. I think that though their main, flagship brand, just Monster Energy, people talking about just generically drinking Monster, we're seeing strength in that. And what's interesting is that as that purchase intent grows, we're seeing sentiment actually improve a little bit, or at least remain stable. A lot of times as purchase intent increases, you start to see a drop in sentiment as just more consumers are exposed to the product, and you just have an increased likelihood of complaints. And so the fact that Monster drinkers are liking the product, that shows a really strong loyal user base for them.
And what's fascinating is all these partnerships Monster has. I mean, you see they have all these different partnerships similar to a Nike, but kind of like dirt bike partnerships I saw on social media today. So
wait, you go to dirt bike
I mean, I might.
Races.
There's Monster
more in the
logos
action
everywhere.
sports realm, though, is what you're getting
It's
at.
more of like,
skateboarding, snowboarding.
Exactly.
Tiger Woods used to be with Monster, though.
Yeah.
See, Tiger
Or maybe
Woods, that's
still is.
more your league, Tom. So
That's right.
Our first tweet says, advice to my 21-year-old self, buy Amazon and Monster calls. So actually, if you look at an Amazon compared to a Monster chart over a 15-year weekly basis, it's really fascinating, because Amazon as a company, so many people say they wish they would have gotten into 15 years ago. But actually, if you look at this chart, it's a really fascinating story, because Monster seems to be doing better than Amazon. So on a percent basis.
That is a crazy chart.
I know.
You'd be making more money in Monster stock than you would Amazon over the last 15 years. That is amazing.
I know.
But it goes back to the strength of the brand, but also, Jenny, like you said, you drink Monster. It's a younger generation type drink. It has competition, though. That's the concern for me, that now you're starting to see it stabilize a little bit, but they do have, distribution bonus of Coke owning nearly 17% of the company.
Megan mentioned a really good point. They have unleashed this Reign brand, which is to compete with Bang Energy. So both of these are, I think, lower price point than just the Monster brand, but they have way more caffeine. So I've had those. They're also very good, Megan. You should try Reign Energy. It's very good.
I'm going to have to try it.
All right.
But when you look at this too, I mean, just on the percentages, as we look at this chart, 11,000% for Monster and 4,200% for Amazon. And if we looked at that tweet, it looks like this was actually the 11th best advice that this person had for their 21-year-old self. So I want to see what 1 through 10 was. But as you look at this for how this quarter is shaping up, Megan, I know that it comes to a close too. We don't get earnings until November 6th after the market that day. How do you guys see this quarter shaping up versus some of the other quarters you've seen in the past?
Right now, and really why we flagged this, is because the current quarter pace, which closes, I think, in like 5 days around September 30th, it's the highest quarter that we've ever recorded. And so I think that that's really significant for Monster. That shows strength. Another thing, they're growing significantly internationally. We're definitely watching competition. You mentioned Bang Energy, and that's one brand that we follow. And Bang Energy also has this exponential growth that we're watching. And, I think just in general, more people are consuming energy drinks across the board. So, it's important to note that, yes, there are more competitors entering Monster's market, but so far, according to our data, they're being able to retain these consumers. And, if you look in the last 90 days, I think the stock has actually pulled back a bit. It's down. And so we're watching that because it might set up nicely for an earnings surprise.
Yeah, and I did notice the stock has been down as of lately, but it is still up 16% year to date. So
Yes.
I'm still very positive on Monster. So our next tweet says Monster, 1996, 1.6 million EBITDA, 437.9 million shares outstanding. 2018, 1.423 billion EBITDA, 543.1 million shares outstanding. Stock is up 300. I'm having a hard time reading all these numbers, but the stock
Too
is
much
up
Monster beverage.
343,543%. This thing it's incredible in terms of the percentage performance of what Monster has been able to do in this space. And Megan, I don't think we can stress it enough for you guys to be seeing some of record purchase intents, at least on social media. And for the stock to be flat over the last 12 months, this is setting up, as you said, as a very interesting name going into this earnings.
Right. It's definitely something we're going to watch over the next few weeks. And we just wanted to elevate it so people could get ahead of it before earnings approaches and the move's already, priced in.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, Megan, we got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll look forward to talking to you again, possibly this afternoon.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, you guys.